Hi there, Mick Corrigan here from Action Coach with another Business Spotlight interview. And I'm delighted to introduce you to Steve Gill. Steve Gill's a good mate of mine, and he's the managing director at Luton Place in Burnley. So welcome, Steve.
Thanks, Mick.
Tell us a bit about Luton Place then.
So we're a family-run business, established a long time ago, mainly connected to the textile industry. So the roots go back to 1894, I think, when the company was first founded. A lot has happened since then, and the sort of the main landmarks really were 1977 when my father bought the business. And I entered the business in about mid-80s, and yeah, since then we've grown. So we're a subcontract manufacturer, and we supply aluminium die-cast components into a variety of different industries. We've been situated now on this single site since about 1984. We employ currently about 160 people with a turnover last year of just over 16 million. And we supply into, a variety of different industries. Automotive is quite high, lighting industries, filtration, just a very wide range of different industries. And we've come through quite some tough times in our industry, but we keep going.
And where's the sweet spot in terms of type of customer, Steve?
Customers who are willing to work with us from an early stage. Customers who are willing to ask us to assist them in the design of their products, so that we can get in there very early and help them certainly drive costs down right from the start. So and generally most of them are like that. Things have developed certainly along those lines in our industry for quite some time now.
And Steve, when they do come to you, why do you think they come to you? What differentiates you from other options that they might have?
I think it's that willingness to really get involved at the very early stages. That's the key thing, and the attention to detail that we give even at the very early stages of an inquiry. So straight away they get a feeling that we're technically sound, very technically sound, can offer a great deal of expertise and help them along that sort of pathway to product, from product development or product inception through development through to the finished article at the end of it. So I think that's what separates us out. That's what I'd like to think. But also once we get people through the door, because the facade of L&P, the physical facade, isn't the most attractive, but once they come through those gates and go into the foundry and the machine shop, they get a real understanding of what we're about and the investment that we've put in place, which I think also separates us out from a lot of companies of our size.
Yeah, I know about your expertise and less about the investment. What have you put investment into, Steve, over the last few years?
Well, so a lot of the investment has gone into automation, which has been a key driver for us in recent times. But really, it's the best available technology that we continue to invest. So, I mean, I've lost track of the numbers, to be honest, of how much we've sort of ploughed into capital. But yeah, over the last 10 years. We've put in probably 3 major large die casting cells, certainly in excess of £1 million per cell. The machine shop's seen a great deal of investment, and we've also invested heavily in expanding the site as well and expanding the amount of floor space that we've got. So yeah, it's just a continue. We're in a very capital intensive type industry. And it is a constant challenge just maintaining a position of having the very latest technology available to us.
And with all that investment in plant machinery, what's the future look like? What are the opportunities and the challenges ahead?
There'll always be opportunities in our industry, and certainly within the automotive sector, with the electrification of vehicles that's coming along now. So there are opportunities there. I mean, the whole profile of parts supplied into the automotive industry is likely to change over the next 10 years, and that does bring yeah, certainly more opportunities, I would say. I think the opportunities as well are probably for a company of our size, because we've seen off quite a lot of competition, and there has been casualties in our industry, which isn't altogether a good thing, of course, because buyers see the whole industry as shrinking, and so they'll start to think that there isn't an opportunity for them to purchase what they need from the UK, so they'll start to look automatically elsewhere, whether it's Asia or Eastern Europe or South America or whatever. And so, but whilst we're still here, and whilst there is still a decently buoyant die casting industry within the UK, then yeah, we will still attract enquiries. So further opportunities beyond the automotive sector, yeah, there are plenty. There are plenty, whether it's in the lighting sector or within general engineering, whether it be hydraulics or filtration or whatever. There are many opportunities. White goods is another one, which is a traditional industry that has tended to be offshored, but companies are considering reshoring, as the likes of China, India, they've got a burgeoning market within their own company that needs servicing. So perhaps the advantages that were there 10, 15, 20 years ago of going to China or India or Eastern Europe, for that matter, that maybe are no longer there. So or certainly not as heavy as they were. So yeah, plenty of opportunities still.
And challenges, Steve? What would you say there?
Challenges will always be, I think, people, getting the right kind of people in, getting certainly I would say at the lower end of the operator level will always be a challenge, because I've said it many times, I don't think school kids are sat there at 15, 16 dreaming of working in a die casting foundry. So that is a challenge. There is a tremendous churn of people at operator level that causes us a great deal of difficulty. How do we face that? We face that with as much training as we can. We try to make it as attractive as possible, whether that's the environment that they're working in, or the opportunities that they have to move to move up the up the ladder, as it were, and automation to try and counter the sort of volume of people that we need to do what we need to do on a week by week, month by month basis. Mm. So other challenges are always going to be, I think energy is going to be a major challenge for us, and not necessarily the availability of that, but the cost of that. Mm. We've obviously seen a massive hike in energy prices, and we're still within Europe. We probably pay more for energy within the UK than any of our European partners do. So having a level playing field is very important to us, and that's something that the sort of federation that we're part of are challenging the government, more and more often. So yeah, competition always going to be a challenge, but competition's fine. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that that drives you to become better. It drives you to get one step ahead of everybody else. So you know, it all goes full circle, doesn't it? All those challenges mean everything that we've just spoken about regarding investment, people, so on. You just do it to head off all those challenges. Yeah, face on.
And Steve, with the decades of experience that you now have running a business, if you were, talking to people that might be watching and listen to this, what would you say are your learnings, and what are the things that, if you were looking back, you might do differently?
Well, I've learned to, well, one thing's for certain, as you get older, you learn perhaps not to hesitate as much as you would have done. So you shoot from the hip a little bit more. You have a tendency to be a little firmer, I think, as you get older. Firmer in as much as you're setting your own mind what you want, and you perhaps don't beat around the bush as much.
So you become more decisive.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I always, when I was younger, I always had it in mind what I wanted. I was perhaps maybe a little less assertive with others, or a little more cautious in your approach. I think if I look back, what would I do differently? I don't think. Well, I think I probably want to do something differently than I do now in the industry, because it's seen some tremendous challenges, really, and it's been very, very difficult. Our industry has been undervalued, I think, for so long, and it continues to be undervalued. People just would look at a component and think, all you do is pour metal into a mold and that's it. You're done and dusted. It's easy. Anybody can do it. Or it's a dirty sort of industry at the bottom of the ladder. And yeah, to an extent, we are toward the bottom rung of the whole process. I would perhaps have liked to have been a bit further up that ladder to start with. But, that's what I was almost born into. Manufacturing just grips you, and once you're in, you're in. So I'm not quite sure I'd do anything differently, really, Mick, because, when I think back to some of the things I was doing, and I was thrown into the industry at a high level very young. And so, I've always banged the drum for our industry and tried to get across to everybody, all my peers within the industry, that, we need to be working much closer together as an industry to really sell what we do and get more value for what we do. But, it's a competitive market, and what can you do? You're stuck, aren't you? So I'm not quite sure. I think differently.
Well, Steve, keep banging the drum.
Yeah,
keep collaborating, and keep progressing. And congratulations on what you've achieved, and I wish you all the best for the future.
Yeah, thanks, mate. No, pleasure.